Eamonn Holmes takes break from work after Ruth Langsford final warning. Eamonn Holmes is taking some time off GB News after telling viewers he was going on annual leave following reports Ruth Langsford has told him to clear his stuff from the home they shared. The former This Morning stars, 64, sent shockwaves through the showbiz world in May when they revealed they were headed for divorce. Eamonn was back at GB News the day after the news broke while Ruth took a lengthy hiatus from Loose Women. The show today was presented by Stephen Dixon, who had been drafted in at the last minute to cover for host Ellie Costello, who had managed to bag tickets for Taylor Swift. Bella magazine reports. Ruth doesn't want him to feel like he can pop back and forth when he likes to grab bits. She wants a clean slate and has even told friends she might change the locks. Eamonn told Best magazine he hoped he could be friends with Ruth after their split, but conceded it was too soon to tell. His comments came before it was reported Ruth found messages between her husband and another woman on a laptop. She is said to have been left hurt after finding out Eamonn is being consoled by Katie Alexander, 42, after the relationship counselor struck up a friendship with the veteran broadcaster over the past couple of years. Ruth Langsford issues final warning to Eamonn Holmes as he moves out. Ruth Langsford and Eamonn Holmes announced their separation earlier this year. Ruth Langsford is reportedly serious about Eamonn Holmes fully moving out of their once shared home in Surrey. The Loose Women panelist is said to want to start a clean slate, and therefore has given Eamonn, who is allegedly living in a London apartment, a final warning to pick up any remaining belongings before she takes action. Ruth and Eamonn were dropped from This Morning in 2020 just before their split. Ruth said it isn't always easy providing care for Eamonn. The GB News presenter is recovering from surgery and an injury to his shoulder, and has been seen using a walking crutch since 2021 after he slipped 3 discs in his back. I don't know how much Eamonn's mobility will improve. We live in hope, she said. He does the physio, but there might have to be some acceptance that this might never be 100% right. Eamonn Holmes takes break from work after Ruth Langsford issues final warning. Eamonn Holmes is taking some time off GB News after telling viewers he was going on annual leave following reports Ruth Langsford has told him to clear his stuff from the home they shared. Eamonn Holmes is taking a break from work following his sudden split with Ruth Langsford. The former This Morning stars, 64, sent shockwaves through the showbiz world in May when they revealed they were headed for divorce. Eamonn was back at GB News the day after the news broke while Ruth took a lengthy hiatus from Loose Women. However, the Northern Irishman has been absent from The Breakfast Show, which he presents alongside Isabel Webster, this week after telling viewers he was going on annual leave until next week. The show today was presented by Stephen Dixon, who had been drafted in at the last minute to cover for host Ellie Costello, who had managed to bag tickets for Taylor Swift. Eamonn's absence comes amid reports estranged wife, Ruth, has told her ex to retrieve his remaining possessions from their shared Surrey home. The GB News anchor is understood to have already left the family home for a London apartment. Bella magazine reports. Ruth doesn't want him to feel like he can pop back and forth when he likes to grab bits. She wants a clean slate and has even told friends she might change the locks. The Loose Women star recently dampened hopes of a reconciliation between the pair, hinting she could never be friends with the dad of 4. The mum of 1 was hosting Loose Women on Monday when the panel started discussing friendship with an ex. Telling singer, Sunita, she was lucky she was still friends with ex-boyfriend, Simon Cowell. Ruth mused, not everyone can do that. Eamonn told Best magazine he hoped he could be friends with Ruth after their split, but conceded it was too soon to tell. His comments came before it was reported Ruth found messages between her husband and another woman on a laptop. She is said to have been left hurt after finding out Eamonn is being consoled by Katie Alexander, 42, after the relationship counselor struck up a friendship with the veteran broadcaster over the past couple of years. Katie's ex-husband has since come forward to offer his sympathy for Ruth. Speaking to The Sun, he admitted he was heartbroken when his own marriage came to an end, adding it took him years to recover. He said, "She's going through what I did after our marriage ended." George added, "She was not swooning over him like he was George Clooney, but she liked being on social media and one day she said she'd had a reply from him." George claimed that Katie and Eamonn were speaking on social media when they were together, as friends, adding that he was surprised to find out the pair were regularly meeting up after his divorce in 2022. GB News and another presenter shake up as second replacement host forced to step in after begging message from co-star, while Eamonn Holmes takes break from show. GB News underwent yet another staff shakeup on Wednesday, with Stephen Dixon being drafted in to step in last minute. The breakfast show is usually hosted by Eamonn Holmes and Isabel Webster on Mondays to Wednesdays. However, Eamonn, 64, has been absent this week, previously revealing he is taking some time off as annual leave. Monday saw Nana Akua filling in for the broadcaster, while Ellie Costello replaced him on Tuesday and was set to do so again on Wednesday, alongside Isabel, 41. However, viewers were surprised to see Stephen, 50, in her place as the show began, with sports correspondent Paul Coit exclaiming, "What are you doing here?" Stephen explained that he had stepped in at the last minute as a favor to Ellie, after she was lucky enough to nab tickets to Taylor Swift's show at Wembley on Tuesday night. Kicking off the show, Isabel said, "It's nice to see you. Well done for stepping into Ellie's shoes." Stephen replied, "Heck, it's nice to be here. I'm here because, as you may well know, Ellie Costello was desperate to go and see Taylor Swift." Isabel added, "Her last night, of course, of the European leg of her Eras tour, and what a night Ellie got to see last night, so I totally understand." Stephen explained he received a begging message from his pal and co-star Ellie on Tuesday, asking him to fill in for her. Isabel revealed that Ellie had been sending him the messages from the studio while they were live on air. She recalled, "Well, we were on air and she was messaging Stephen saying, 'Stephen hasn't woken up yet. He still hasn't replied,' and then the message came through, but she hadn't then got the okay from the bosses." Stephen then added, "I will tell you, she sent me a message at midnight saying, 'I've just got back,' and she was eating chips in her kitchen, so she had a good time." Stephen alerted his followers to the switch-up on Tuesday evening, taking to Twitter to write, "Unexpectedly heading to work in the morning. So Ellie can see at Taylor Swift 13, join me from 0600 if you can." While their GB News co-star Dawn Neeson commented, she was very excited. Ellie took to her own Instagram to share a snap of her clad in her cowboy boots and posing outside the stadium ahead of the show, revealing she had managed to score the tickets and thanking Stephen for stepping in. She wrote, "Guess who got last-minute tickets? Never been so excited, Eras Tour Round 2, Scissor Sparkles. Thank you at Stephen GB News for being the best friend ever and covering me tomorrow so that I can enjoy tonight. Love you." Eamonn previously addressed his absence from his usual slot on GB News Breakfast this week, explaining he was on a break. Taking to Twitter, he cleared up any confusion or speculation about his absence by joking that people were unfamiliar with the concept of summer holidays. He added, "See you next week," to reassure his 1.1 million followers that he will be back on air soon. It comes after he was embroiled in a fiery clash with a guest, where he snapped, "Don't lecture me, give me a break," during a Union Jack flag debate. Royal broadcaster and historian Rafe Hadel Manku joined the show alongside anti-racism activist Eamonn Holmes to debate whether the Union Jack flag is too divisive. The debate began as Eamonn discussed the recent news that a village in Norfolk feels divided over whether to fly the Union Jack flag, with fears it will scare people away. The debate erupted after Eamonn said the British people should reconsider flying the Union Jack flag because she claims it has associations with the far right. As Eamonn halted their heated and controversial discussion, he ended the segment with his personal opinion after he grew up in Northern Ireland, which sparked Eamonn to furiously hit back. Eamonn said, "Running a flag outside a village hall in Norfolk, you sort of think what's the big deal?" Eamonn furiously hit back, "Be considerate. No, be considerate, guys. I know you finished your segment, but Eamonn, I'm not going to let you finish with that one. Be considerate of other people's beliefs and views. If you are considerate and sympathetic of everyone and how we perceive the world, you might find yourself leading with equality. Just so you know, I'll finish it there." Eamonn said, "Let me just tell you something. You don't have to lecture me. I sit in the middle, trying to see both sides of things." To which Eamonn interjected, "Well, I have too." Eamonn shouted, "I grew up in a country." Before Eamonn interrupted again, "You should have finished with mine opinion, but you finished with Rafe's opinion." Host Eamonn assured, "I finished with everyone. I'm trying to say you did not grow up in Northern Ireland, where a flag represented something political and anti to a certain religion in Northern Ireland. I did." Eamonn said, "And just like with black people, you are not black, sir, and I understand racism more than you. I haven't experienced racial discrimination or prejudice or bias in regards to being white, but what I have done is experienced it being black. Aw, Eamonn, we're the same babes. Aw, give me a break." Let's go to the break. Back after this, Eamonn finished.